40 hadith of Imam An-Nawawi. So the first week we talked about the biography of Imam An-Nawawi a little bit, and on the second week we talked about the usage of the weak hadith. Why did we talk about this? Because Imam An-Nawawi mentioned some fadail of learning or memorizing this 40 hadith, and he himself mentioned that all the hadith regarding 40 hadith is not strong hadith, is not authentic, it's a weak hadith. But then we went through a discussion, and in his book he went through a discussion what is a weak hadith, when should we use, when should not we use. So today inshallah ta'ala we'll go to the hadith number 1 of this 40 hadith, and it's not only this today, so we'll start the hadith number 1 today. Inshallah ta'ala next week we will continue the hadith number 1 and to understand why this hadith is so important. So let's talk about the hadith itself today, inshallah ta'ala. So the hadith, as you know, it's a very popular hadith, innamal amalu binniyah wa innama likulli amri ma nawa. So the meaning of this basically, as we all know, the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and this hadith is described by Umar ibn al-Khattab. He said, Rasulullah said, the reward of this depends upon the intention of every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. So the niyyah or intention is a very, very important thing. And that's what Rasulullah was saying, that whatever you intended in your heart for any action, innamal amal, it could be like any action. And because every action we do with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you intended, as your heart desires. And then so whoever immigrated, like immigrated means here like who did make the hijrah for worldly benefit, because that time hijrah was a difficult thing for everybody, right? So whoever made a hijrah, he must have some valid reason. And when it became obligatory for the Muslim of Makkah, they all left everything and followed Rasulullah to Medina. So whoever did hijrah, whatever reason, if they want to move from one place to another to marry some woman, we'll go into discussion what does it mean, and he will be rewarded accordingly. So inshallah ta'ala we'll go slowly at what this hadith means and everything. First of all, where to find this hadith? If someone asks, okay, you told me a hadith, where is this hadith? Which book we can find it and everything? Sorry? Yes. So this hadith is the number 1 hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari. Then this is the number 1 hadith of this book that we are talking about, Imam An-Nawawi's 40 hadith. This hadith is number 1 of Riyadh al-Salihin. As you know, Riyadh al-Salihin also authored by Imam An-Nawawi. And Riyadh al-Salihin is one of the very, very popular hadith book of the whole world. Then this hadith in Sahih Muslim, I don't know the number, probably one of the first 10 hadiths. Then also there are almost 90 other hadith books that has this hadith. This hadith is so important, 90 other books of hadith has this hadith. And in Bukhari, Imam Bukhari mentioned this hadith in different chapters almost 6 times. This hadith, not only the number 1 hadith of Bukhari, he mentioned it another 5 times in different chapters of the book. This hadith is so important that it is come everywhere. A little exception, Imam Malik's Muwatta. Imam Malik, the famous book of Imam Malik, the fiqh of Maliki Madhab, al-Muwatta. This Muwatta didn't have this hadith. Although Imam Malik was in Medina, all his life he spent in Medina. Imam Malik is a scholar, he didn't do much travel except to do Umrah and Hajj. He used to go to Makkah. He always stayed in Medina. And he was a sheikh of the Hijaz and everything. But his version of book didn't have this, but Imam Malik has a lot of students. So one of the students, he was also a great scholar, Muhammad Hassan ibn Shaybani. He was a student of Abu Hanifa. At the same time, he was a student of Imam Malik. So he also wrote a version of Muwatta. He was from Yemen. So it's called the Yemeni version of Muwatta. In that Muwatta, this hadith is there. But the main Muwatta of Imam Malik didn't have this hadith. And scholars said, this is a bit of a peculiarity, like why we wouldn't have this hadith in this one. Allah knows the best. Now, the chain of narration, very quickly, what does it mean by chain of narration? Our hadith science, like the Muslim, because we know very little actually, because if we really study the hadith science, the way that we have described hadith, when a sheikh say hadith, when you see a hadith in your email or in anywhere, you have to understand this hadith, the scholars spend like their time upon time to find out how this hadith is weak or authentic. It is not an easy thing. This technology, this methodology If you put into today's perspective, to all the newspaper that we get and everything, all newspaper will be closed down. Nobody can, authenticate something like this. Because this authenticity, the chain of narration mean that he heard from that person, Salim heard from the Abdullah heard from Muhammad heard from this and this and this Sahaba and this. And all these people, when they were born, when they died, have they ever meet, which city they meet, everything they had to find out. And this is how a hadith become a authentic hadith. There are obviously a lot of other things, other factors, but this is one of the very difficult thing to find out. And we are lucky that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved the sunnah of Rasulullah this way. Like the people like Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, they have preserved the hadith, and all other scholars. And on the current time, Sheikh Nasruddin al-Albani, he authenticated all this hadith and everything. So it's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have the sunnah preserved as we have the Quran preserved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now this hadith was Rasulullah when he said, and Umar radhiyallahu anhu, he heard it, and from Umar, Alqama ibn Waqqas, then Muhammad ibn Ibrahim at-Tami, then Yahya bin Sa'id, and more than 200 people. Now there's one thing you have to understand. When Rasulullah said this hadith, he was on a mimbar. So when he was on the mimbar, there is minimum 30, 40, 50 Sahaba was there. But all other Sahaba, they also heard this hadith at the same time when Umar radhiyallahu anhu, because it's not a private conversation with Umar. But those Sahaba also have the other version of this hadith, but from the Sahaba to other people, it's not authentic totally. Meaning what? Maybe one of the chain is missing. So those versions are not authentic. Only it's the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this so important hadith was preserved by the version of the Umar radhiyallahu anhu. So Allah said that the first hadith of so many great books is the hadith from Umar radhiyallahu anhu. And all these three other people, usually, what happens, see, if I say something to you guys, so you're 10 people here, you're going to tell to your family or your friends, so that 10 become, 20, and every 10, if it's 20, like it's 100, in one go it become 100 people. But, for some reason, this hadith is only done by single people. All these three people, then Alqama, Muhammad ibn Ibrahim at-Taymi, Yahya bin Sa'id, all these people are tabi'in. Then they're on the second generation only, not going to the third generation. After Muhammad ibn Sa'id, there are 200 people listen to this hadith. And this is why this hadith is called in the hadith sign, Hadith al-Ahad. Hadith al-Ahad, meaning this hadith is described by only one Sahaba. If there is a hadith is described and narrated by only one Sahaba, it's called Hadith al-Ahad. And there's a lot of hadiths like this. Unfortunately, there is a group of Muslim, they still have here, they reject Hadith al-Ahad. They said, no, we don't take any, they basically follow Quran, and they said any Hadith al-Ahad, we don't follow it. Because it's only narrated by only one person. So all this authentic and everything, they don't have it. So this hadith is 200% authentic, alhamdulillah. No doubt about it. But still they will say, no, we reject this hadith. So this is one group of the thing. So anyway, this hadith is called Hadith al-Ahad. Now the comments of other scholars about this hadith, what they say, why this hadith is so important. So just a very quick summary. Imam Hajar al-Asqalani was a great scholar who wrote the explanation of Sahih al-Bukhari. He said this hadith is 1/3 of all the knowledge. This hadith is 1/3 of all the Islamic knowledge you have. From this hadith you can derive. So important is this, like 1/3 of the whole knowledge. Imam Shafi said this hadith enters into 70 chapters of all fiqh. So different kind of fiqh, salah, zakah, marriage, divorce, all these things, every chapter, 70 chapters. But by 70, what he means, when Arabs say 70, it means, you have to understand, it means many. Like, if we say, brother, how many sweets you can have? I say, I can have 100 sweets. So it's not literally 100, but it's like a meaning that, it's like too much. So 70 chapters means, a lot of chapters of fiqh can be derived from this hadith. And Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the Hanbali madhab, the Imam Ahmad, he also said that Islam revolves around 3 hadiths, and this is one of the hadiths. There are other 2 hadiths, one hadith from Aisha radhiyallahu anhu, and one hadith from Numan ibn Bashir. Those 2 hadiths, we'll come to this when we come to those hadiths. But he said these 3 hadiths, Islam revolves around these 3 hadiths. Everything in Islam can be derived from these 3 hadiths, and one of the hadiths is this hadith. And Ibn Taymiyyah, he wrote a book only on this hadith. A 400-page book only on this hadith. And it's not only Imam An-Nawawi, I didn't mention the other scholar who has book only done for this hadith only. So what does this hadith mean and everything. Now, what is this hadith about in a summary? As we say, like inshallah we'll talk about this hadith more into next week also, but today just a quick summary. What does this hadith mean? Why it is so important? So the first thing, it says that the iman has three components, as we all know, right? So what are the three components we have in the iman?